wanted to do a thing about reading Dr. Onion is Worried About Your Health. Okay, so this is a brain garbage post I wrote yesterday morning. It took me a couple of hours. Dr. Onion is worried about your health. You are a bit too obsessed. No, no, no. No, no, no. You are not allowed to fawn. He took 2 bites of onion. He's self-deprecating. As the Bikes and Beyond haunt on Commercial in Astoria, Oregon filled up with the scent of onions October 31st, 2023, I thought, oh no, this is really happening. I remember hearing of a band that used vegetables as props, cauliflowers or cabbages, was it? Like Salvador Dali. Not all Dr. Onion concerts smell like onions. Perhaps the onion eating can be contractually controlled. I keep telling Cisco Carpe writing about music is like dancing about architecture. As the urge to write something keeps popping up, I keep holding back. I have to learn the names of the fellas. Lovely Nick with the glorious long hair. I have to figure out how to do an accent mark on my keyboard to convey the correct syntax for carpe with a K. I'm trying to teach people how to say I'm busy, like Father taught me, because I'm always trying to be all things to all people. Dr. Onion has just told me he's busy. He busy getting prepared for the May 30 show at the Columbian Theater on Marine in Astoria, Oregon at 11th near the river on the Inferno Bar. When music fell through for Ashley's Bar Saturday, I thought, last minute, onions. Just too much to ask, clearly. Or residency, or all rehearsals open to the public. Dr. Onion and the No No Mamas 6 days a week. I get a little worried when I run into the die-hard Dr. Onion fans who found Cisco Carpe's Tiptoe Through the Tulips at karaoke. A little alarmed. This is not a cult. Dr. Onion is not a cult. And neither is Sleeper Coffee. A little alarmed. Okay, let's see. Okay, the fan club will now come to order. These guys follow Dr. Onions like Deadheads follow the Grateful Dead, or like I'd follow Dunion if I could. I hear about a show under the Kurt Cobain Bridge, a show in Centralia. I'm getting jealous. I see how music keeps people alive like life support. I tell Cisco, Dr. Onion has helped me process pain I have about the abuses in the medical system that we have discussed. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest style. In his beautiful croon or growl, he sang System of a Down, Pizza Pie, Tom Lehrer Masochism Tango, and the Strokes someday at karaoke recently. One time I was hanging out in the basement of the Bikes and Beyond shop with Dan Kennedy doing his woodworking, and they were rehearsing. A year ago, perhaps. How lucky to have studio space and to get to hear this. Beautiful Mark was showing us art. There's a nice gentleman named Eric who likes the nerd side of music. I told him I got a full stream of the 503 Marquee Dr. Onion show recently 3 weeks ago. He told me he would let the band know. Maybe barely more than once I had spoken or said hello. The Onion. I worry about hearing damage and have my earplugs firmly in my bag, as of old days when I saw lots of good shows in Nashville or Los Angeles. I am prepared to make a spitball of torn-up cocktail napkins to stuff in my ears if need be. Shows I can trace hearing are March 22, Maritime Pub, part of it, and Blown Away, like, what? Astoria has a good band? I got some footage on an old cell phone, maybe just to test it. I saw the festival outdoors. I didn't pay for and tried experimenting with the city Wi-Fi to see if it was strong enough to stream a music show at the parking lot outside the American Legion. Not quite. I found a cozy place by the pit, Astoria's gaping eyesore of an old grocery store basement, which is fenced off like a sign of urban decay. I liked not paying to go in. Maybe there was no time to get cash, or I like saving money, but I really like the beyond the fence camera angles. Everybody else can get the good shots. I like the year of the snake shots. From the back, close to the exit, conveying alienation, Cisco showed me Dina Olgen, the most luxurious Swedish band, instantly reminding me of Stereolab. After I showed him the Norwegian Anbrun song Fingeravtryck, which has been obsessing me for a while, he showed me Aphex Twin and the idea intelligent dance music, IDM. I showed him old footage of Thunder from Heaven stealing all of your drugs footage. Operatic performance art elements. My great epiphany about why Dr. Onion evokes such a sentimental feeling was the confrontation of medicine with its gimmicks. Oh no, it could be like Empire of Pain, OxyContin, but personally it seems to confront medical authority in general, snake oil, psychiatry, all pomp and circumstance. arty stoner rock guys in dresses is one of my favorite metal trips. Men so masculine, nothing undermines it. Dresses or no dresses. Thunder from Heaven was wearing white dresses at the defunct Cranes Bar in Hollywood one day. How glorious. More coffee. I need a Buddha statue, like right now. Cisco told me the dissonant stuff creates the tension, and the happy stuff resolves the tension, which helped me tremendously to understand. I told him I wanted all the lyrics typed out so I could analyze them to know what they mean. He said he doesn't have that. I said perhaps you don't know what the Dr. Onion band means. I remember finding some of it utterly disturbing in Halloween 2023, just the way a horror movie can reground one. I picked up on something about abuse being thematic. The birthday party, an early 80s punk iteration of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, crashed into my head like a reference point. Hands up, who wants to die? Hands up, who wants to die? Noir. Scott Lee of Bikes and Beyond, which becomes The Haunt sometimes at night, has been playing a lot of dark wave, gothy kind of subtle music lately. He's the only person I know playing such heaven. The indie music references I wanted to send Cisco are Metronomy, The Look, Fontaines DC, possibly The Klaxons, Wilco's Love is Everywhere, The Last Shadow Puppets, Laura Marling. If there was a B-side to the mentions, Silver Jews, Kurt Weill, but everybody knows that. Music is so much and so diverse now. My heart explodes with happiness to make musical friends. I explain it's like the 1990s or Y2K when people actually hung out and listened to full CDs together in 3 dimensions. I miss those days before the universe became a giant bureaucratic text message barrage of confusion. My I'll be right there attitude can only go so far, as right now I'm busy. Writing the slow way helps delay the onslaught of my brain. Perhaps that is why it can be so soothing and so necessary. Give me Dr. Onion and the No No Mamas, or give me death. Nothing should become an iron lung, like Radiohead said of the Damn Creep song. They were forced to play thousands of times. The limited hangout of band life means all things end, like the club, the end. Nashville, where David Soldy sold the White Stripes for $5, where I saw Rebecca Stout, where I would sneak in to see snippets or loiter on the curb with the Black Label Empire Kids, the Brian Kotzer Band, Tim Shad and Sherry, David Soldy, Elliot Wilcox of Milkshake, watching the Nashville goths sing Traipse by in their gigantic platform shoes. Smoking cigarettes because I don't know how else to look cool, circa 2002. Lucy's Record Shop and Murdered Minority, and John Sewell fled back into memory, and Nochlin, the gorgeous Asian punk rock girl with dreadlocks into eternity long past her miniskirt, and such things. I crave Fontaines DC again. Go get you some Dr. Onions and the No No Mamas. Cisco said the syntax doesn't matter for doctor versus doctor spelled out. I'm willing to correct it, but for search engine optimization, I decide both spellings actually is better. As I explored through 4 to 7 crushes, I got smitten suddenly with a certain very talented young man, 27. Cisco Carpe is the best, but just don't quote me. Antonio, I immediately began to telepath his future. Where does he go from here? A big city? Antonio tells us horror stories in the music industry. Ashley's 503 Marquee Bar is reminding me very much of a Hollywood Bardot vibe. Back when Laura Pergolesi and Perry Farrell and Sly Stone's daughter played, when Stephen Reich's son hung out, and Skrillex was everywhere, and Nick Mayberry got me in and gave me his trust. I had a good camera for some of that, and LP, Laura Pergolesi, was able to snag some of the footage for her channel, which I find a great honor. Perry Farrell schmoozed for my camera like a ham, singing Jane Says She's Leaving Sergio. His glorious Aries dominion over the stage exerts the hot habanero effect only an Aries can bring. I think of Perry on his birthday. Check on Twitter. It's his birthday, unbeknownst to me. Or psychically, did he send birthday vibes across the universe? Fontaines DC may end the troubles. I mean the Irish-English conflict. Dr. Onion could heal Astoria. I do think music is here to save. Rainifist's guitar was the scalpel to lobotomize my pain away. Music heals. Melody Rainbow was my forsaken name, abandoned at Dad's advice for Mary Rose. Yesterday I resolved to just be a music person. Like politics alone. But music is always political. I notice a hammer and sickle on the bag worn by the beautiful long-haired Nick, who wears sexy nurse costumes to play in Dr. Onion shows. George's sexy nurse tattoo haunts me. It was my last contact. My last point of contact, as he was all wired up to the bloody wires of life support. I come to Portland to figure out how to get him off life support and to be realistic. What a wonderful joke on mortality. A last thank you to his final nurses and doctors who would put him under and take him away to Valhalla. I began crying as I told Cisco about singing Anne Brun's Fingeraufdruck melody over the phone before they pulled the plug. He put his hand on my shoulder. Lieder. The Schubert Lieder König might be a good place to start. I explained the Halley's Comet, typo, and Neptune sessions, but not mentioning them by name. Anyway, I don't care about singing so much. Vince Volt, Joe Pinedo, son of Saddle Mountain Militia, suggests we should sing something jazzy together, Ipanema, and I'm down. Cisco says Nick, the Onion Sexy Nurse, wants to do a solo project, perhaps a female voice. I was content to lurk in the shadows of the music industry. I helped carry away Tom York's gear from the squatted UBS bank at Occupy London, blown away that Santa Brain Garbage graffiti prevented me from one glimpse of York as I drew to his DJ playlist. As I drew, to his DJ playlist less than 15 feet away. He disappeared before I could see who was playing the good tunes, as I blessed all the chakras of Santa Brain Garbage, assigning music to heal all the broken ones. Wearing pink in my Yulia Tymoshenko braid wreaths. Great Virgos of music include Nick Cave, Beyonce. Virgos by Gemini. The universe is raining Virgos on me for some reason, and I'm afraid I will annoy them. If everything makes one verklempt, I don't want to be verklempt about the death playlist. When I know the life support was getting pulled after Lifeboat's Ozarkarak's silly little court date in Astoria Municipal Court, trying to get Scott Lee in trouble with Judge Chris Kino for having punk rock music in a commercial district the night of New Year's Eve, an internationally celebrated holiday, I went home to await the call, but on Hanashama Becker B. Mati Steinmetz. Fontaines, D.C., Nabokov, what else? Who knows? Who cares? Leonard Cohen Darker. Love sped George to his final death after 49 hours of dying. Music was my life support. Mati Steinmetz in my ear. I could almost not even hear the nurse at Good Samaritan say we took him off life support at 5 p.m. and he died at 5:39 p.m. Municipal court began at 5:15. I knew George would die as Ozark Iraq fought his battle to silence the punk rock scene. I am so glad Ozark Iraq, Scott Lee, Chris Kino, and Shannon Zinzer were there to absorb the pain and outrage. I wore the dumpster dive Clinique red lipstick, took down my hair, and approached the bench to hear Ozark Iraq's meticulous recording of the music emanating from the commercial space warehouse district walls where the homeless flee persecution. Maybe he wants to be a rock and roll impresario instead of a homelessness monger. Maybe all the homeless could have guitars. Maybe Scott Lee could give free bikes to all the homeless. Maybe punk rock isn't the only genre, but perhaps the next band name should be Homeless Industrial Complex. As the last band, the Lawsuits was dripping with irony. Hey. Was the music liberation or was it art? The writing was on the wall, a great song I played for George, but our last Sunday together, and Skyfall, and Adele, and lots of Estelle to soothe him. We listened to big band classics before I nuked Paul Vandervelt's $100 Shallon Winery iMac. I was sick of reading BBC News about wars and couldn't get the browser to function, but got loves an iMac with a disk drive. We gave it to Rocher Electronics, who showed me the Leonard Cohen Darker song. Loading up George's wheelchair, the record player, the iMac, an old TV for a last drop, I realized the $100 was on fire. You can't spend money when you're dead. George walked the river, handing $100 bills to his homeless friends in his terminal journey. He tried to pay me back, but he never really owed me anything other than an apology for pretending anything was ever about money. I have run away to a private island with a millionaire, okay? Money is not love. I'd spend my last cent on Dr. Onion. Raina Fisk said he could have got me into Mississippi Studios concert 2010 in Portland for free if I just asked. I followed in, paid $15 like a normal person, and proceeded down the primrose path in accord with the way he sort of hid behind a large potted plant while I schmoozed Gustav Estes outside the Troubadour in Beverly Hills, introducing Nick Mayberry to Dunion because it was the right thing to do. Now, good old Dustin Mosley is doing God knows what, besides not burning in the LA inferno. Sitar on iPhone? Barry Goldberg played slide for the Haley's Comet session. The producer, talent is talent. I can't boycott Kanye. I'm sorry. I love Bully. And I love Madness and Marty Steinmetz. Kim Pickering's Flip into the Bay reminds me of the Metronomy song, The Bay. The Dr. Onions fan club discussed the Melvins, The Cure. I don't know why in such a small town I keep running into the undead. We played Plunder, and I briefly felt like an otaku who cares about games. I don't think there is a way I can stop my hands from writing. Nick said trust nobody, and I said I trust you to play guitar again. It's not that my ham-handedness makes me jealous of serious musicians. I told Cisco I adore him. He'd rather not have me fangirl. I dig it. But I warned him, please, alert me if I seem a bit obsessed. So is the slippery slope. Lucky for me, the algorithms killed this blog, and Elon Musk purchased my free speech from Jack Dorsey and nuked it. So I'll just go outside and knit and try to feel happy